Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Vadadhari Sasodanandana Prajajanaranjana Sasodanandana Prajajanaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramamsa Pariraja Kacharya Asatar Satashi Shrimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramamsa Pariraja Kacharya Asatar Satashi Shrimad Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Amacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Samavita Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glorious to some devotees. All glorious to some devotees. All glorious to some devotees. All glorious to Shri Shri Guru and Garanga. All glorious to Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharni Nirvasesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dishitarni Vancha Kalpa Tribrascha Kripasindhibhevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. It's a very auspicious day, very joyful day for the devotees. We have Kartik month is a very nice month with so many wonderful festivals. This Govardhana Puja is one of the main festivals, our favorite festival. We have so much opportunity to serve Giri Govardhana. Giri is some things we should understand. Giri is mountain. Govardhana, of course, is the name of Govardhana. Actually, you know what Govardhana means, I think most of you. Go means cows, and Vardhan means nourish or maintain. Govardhan. So Giri Govardhan, Giri Dhari, Dhari means lifter. Right? He lifted with left hand. Giri Dhari. And sometimes we say Giri Raj. This is a name for the king of the mountains, yes. Giri Raj. So this Giri Govardhan is worshipped beginning from the Brijbasis, the original Brijbasis in Vrindavan. Krishna, he saw his father preparing one great sacrifice for King Indra, and he gave him so many different arguments. He said, what is the use of worshipping this Indra? You do your good work and everything will be taken care of very nicely. Indra is showering water on the mountains, on the desert, on the seas. He's going to give us water. That's just his business is there. So in this way, he spoke very nicely. Krishna's, who can speak more sweet than Krishna? He convinced, and of course, the Brijbasis were so much attached to him. So whatever he requested them, they executed. They performed this worship of Govardhana Hill by what? By cooking mountains of food. Mountains of food and lakes of dal and sweet rice and different kinds of nectar. And in this way, it's described, Srila Prabhupada describes in his Krishna book that the sacrifice known as Govardhan Puja is observed in the Krishna consciousness movement. Lord Chaitanya has recommended that since Krishna is worshipable, so his land, Vrindavan, and Govardhan Hill are also worshipable. To confirm this statement, Lord Krishna said that Govardhan Puja is as good as worship of him. From that day, the Govardhan Puja has been still going on and is known as Anukut. In all the temples, again, Kuta, Anas means grains. Sometimes they say rice, but it means generally any kind of grain, and Kuta is another name for mountain. In all the temples of Vrindavan, or outside of Vrindavan, huge quantities of food are prepared in this ceremony and are very sumptuously distributed to the general population. Sometimes the food is thrown to the crowds and they enjoy collecting it off the ground. From these instances, we can understand that prasadam offered to Krishna never becomes polluted or contaminated. So anyway, I thought, because on Govardhan Puja, actually Krishna, after they cooked a huge quantity of foodstuffs to Govardhan Hill, they offered to Govardhan Hill and circumambulated. Thus, Govardhan Hill, he assumed a great form, and actually Krishna assumed a great form, and he declared, Sailosmi. This Saila is another name for a mountain. There's different names. These are different descriptions. So Sailosmi, he says, I am this mountain. And then they all performed Govardhan parikrama. So this Govardhan parikrama began with Krishna and the cowherd boys, Krishna and the Brijbasis. And they had wonderful pastimes as they went around the hill. They kept the cows in front. Sometimes it's described that they cooked the musicians and Brahmins were there chanting Vedic hymns. And the ladies, they were sitting in bullock carts and they were chanting very nicely. Bande Nanda Rajastrinam Padarenam Abhichnasam Tasam Harikatod Gitam Punati Bhuvanatrayam, that they purified the whole three worlds by their chanting of Krishna's glories. This is the potency of the gopis of Vrindavan. The whole three worlds were purified. So they were sitting, and this way they circumambulated Govardhan Hill. Madhavendra Puri was the first in our line that's described that when he went to Vrindavan, he also visited Govardhan Hill. He circumambulated Govardhan Hill. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this description is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also circumambulated Govardhan Hill. So I was thinking, I was meditating actually for some time because we used to circumambulate Govardhan Hill at this time of the year in Vrindavan, a couple times of the year, but particularly at this time. And sometimes we had the opportunity to take large large crowds with us of devotees from all around the world. So we're going to have a little bit meditation, and meditation will do our Govardhana parikrama this year. So usually we start at this wonderful place. It's one of the most photogenic, you can say, the most attractive places at Govardhana Hill, Kusum Sarovar. At this place, Kusum Sarovar, it's described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's described that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came here, he saw Govardhana Hill. Now you can't see actually Govardhana Hill at this place. It's in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the name is called Sumana Sarovar. Sumana is also a name. Kusum and Sumana both mean flower. Radha and Krishna used to pick flowers, or the gopis used to pick flowers for Krishna here. So anyway, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came here, he saw Govardhana Hill and he offered this prayer. This prayer, I hope some of you know, Hantaya Madhura Bala Haridasa Varjo Yad Rama Krishna Charanas Parasa Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayos Tajoryat Pani Yasuya Vasakanda Rakanda Mulai. This is a very nice prayer. Hantayam, this hill, Hantaya, what's this? Hantayam Adhira Bala Haridasa Varyo. That Krishna, this Govardhana Hill, here is described Haridasa Varja. Varya means the greatest. We're also singing Giri Vara. Vara means greatest or the best. So here we have Haridasa Varya, and same word is there, Varya or Vara. The best of the hills. Here is described Haridasa Varya, the best of the servants of Krishna. And Yad Rama Krishna Charanas Parasama Pramoda. Rama Krishna Charana, the lotus feet of Krishna, Sparasa, by the touch of their lotus feet, this Govardhana Hill has become Pramoda, very joyful. And not only that, Tanoti Sahagoganayos, along with the cows and the cowherd boyfriends, he's giving pleasure to them. How is he giving pleasure? He gives them these wonderful things. Paniya, the waters, Kandiya, Paniya, Suyavasa, the soft grasses for the cows. Kandara Kandamula means the caves and things that are grown underground, the roots and the flowers like that. So these are ways that Govardhana Hill offers service to Lord Krishna and his cowherd boys, the Brajbasis, like that. So anyway, as I was saying, that this Kusum Sarovar, this is where we usually start our parikrama of Govardhana. Lord Chaitanya, when he came here, he offered this prayer and he saw Govardhana Hill. Now you don't see Govardhana Hill, and there's also some other description is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita how Raghunath Das Goswami was going to commit suicide by jumping from Govardhana Hill. After the departure of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was feeling such great separation that he thought that he was going to give up his body by jumping from the peaks of Govardhana Hill. So now there's no place you can see if you go all the whole circumambulation of Vrindavan, Govardhana Hill. There's no place that you can merely break your leg by jumping from, what to speak of giving up your body. So historically we can see that Govardhana Hill is actually diminishing. And sometimes it's described that Govardhana Hill was cursed by this Pulastya Muni or something like that. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, I lost it. Yeah, here it is. So this never sat well with me because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he accepted Govardhana Hill. Krishna himself says, Sailosmi, and in the Bhagavatam it says, Haridasa Varya, that he's the greatest of servants. So we've heard the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One time, the one Brahmana was not able to get into the Kirtan festival at Srivas' house, the house of Srivas. The next day, he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he was very angry because he couldn't enter the Kirtan. He told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you're not letting anybody into the Kirtans. I curse you. You'll never enjoy material happiness. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yeah. He was very happy inside. He said, okay, I'll accept your curse. So it's described, Srila Prabhupada describes that anyone who hears this curse is delivered from all types of curses of Brahmins. So, and also in the description when this Garuda was taking fish from the Jamuna River, just near Krishna Balaram temple, a little bit further up, there's a place called Sonarak, where Sobari Muni was meditating within the waters of the Jamuna. And Garuda came and took some fish away. Then he said, if you come here again to take any fish, I'll curse you that you'll die. So this way he, by this great offense, he fell down from his spiritual practices. So you can't curse someone on the level. Govardhana Hill, at least he's related as well as Garuda. They're Tadiya, related with the Supreme Lord. So anyway, I find very happy to find this passage in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Lord Balaram is describing to Krishna that he's telling about after they left, after they left, they went to Dwarka. What happened here? Balaram was describing to Krishna about the condition of the different residents of Vrindavan. He says, why speak only about the cows, dear Krishna? All the animals in Braja and your beloved friends, and so also are the birds and the trees like the bandir and the kadamba. Text 117, I think this is chapter 5. The grass, the creepers, the lush bushes have all dedicated their lives to you. Now they are all wasting away, and so too are the rivers and mountains. And the commentary, it says, in the agony of Vipralambros Bhava, the forest deer and the other wild animals in Braja had all become emaciated, and so had the birds like the peacocks, and even the inanimate rivers like the Jamuna, and mountains like Govardhan. If these residents of Vrindavan were on the verge of death, then what to speak of the cows, bulls, and calves Lord Krishna used to herd. Some of the people, my dear brother, live only on the hope that your promises are true. Better you not ask to hear more news than this. Text 119. I can only tell you that if you don't show your kindness to them soon, Jamaraj will soon show them his. That you rid Kaliya's lake of its poison has only greatened their misery, and please hear of still other reasons for their sorrow. In the text 121, it says, Tatratya Jamuna Swalpa Jala Srushkeva Sajani Govardhano Boon Nicho So Swaprapto Yojutastvaya. In Braja, the river Jamuna has turned so dry she has hardly any water, and Govardhan, who, when you held him up, touched heaven, has now become short. So this is the, I better read the commenter here. Sri Jamuna, the site of many of Krishna's pastimes, was once a great broad river with mighty waves and swift, deep flowing currents. Now in pain over Krishna's absence, she had become just a trickle, diminished almost to nothing. To drown oneself in the meager water of the Jamuna would no longer be feasible, nor could one still commit suicide by jumping from the top of Govardhan. Not long before, Govardhana's height had been formidable, as testified in Harivamsa. It says, when Krishna lifted Govardhana Hill, its peaks waved back and forth, the trees upon it trembled, and its inaccessibility inaccessibly high peaks reached outer space. Vidyadharas, Uragas, Gandharvas, and Apsaras complained on all sides that this hill was bumping into their wings. That's and a quote from Hari Vamsa. And then it's a continued commentary. But when Krishna left for Mathura, Govardhana began sinking into the earth out of disappointment, and hunks of its peaks fell off and tumbled down its sides. So this is the... Anyway, next, we can go on the next slide. This is some of the paintings on the inside the chhatris, on the ceiling of the chhatris. Next verse, next picture, another one, next one. And this is in the corner, just on the side of Kusum Sarovar, there's one place called Uddhava Baitak. This is where Uddhava, he prayed to Lord Krishna, Asa Maho Charanarena Jasam Maham Syam. He said, let me become a creeper or a grass so that I can get the dust from the lotus feet of the devotees of Vrindavan. And that's also the place where the queens of Dwarka, they came here and heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Uddhava. It's described in the Bhagavat Mahatmya. Next, Uddhava Baitak again. And inside Darshan, next one, Uddhava, dear devotee of Lord Krishna. Okay, next we can go to, just when you come out from Uddhava Baitak, then practically across the road, maybe a few steps down, is on the left, on the other side of the road is Narada Kund. Narada Muni, he came there. He was asked to write some books about devotional service. So he said, I've been cursed, I can't stay anywhere. So they said, no, you can go to Vrindavan, to Braj, and then you can stay there. That's not part of the material world. The curse won't have any effect there. He also took opportunity to take bath in the Kusum Sarovar on the instructions of Brinda Devi, so that he could take a female form, so he could have darshan of Radha and Krishna's pastimes there. And next, and this is, what is this? This is Ratna Singhasan. We're going on parikrama, we're going down the road a little ways. The place on the right side is called Ratna Singhasan. This is the place where Shankachuda came and disturbed Krishna's pastimes there by taking away the gopis. They came, Krishna chased after him some few kilometers, I forget where he actually caught up to him and killed him. And he took the wonderful gem from the Sankachuda's head. He gave it to Balaram. He wanted to give it to Radharani, but he didn't want to give it directly in front of everybody because that'd be embarrassing. So he gave it to Balaram. Balaram gave to Dhanishta, and Dhanishta gave to Srimati Radharani. And later on, that Radharani, after Krishna left, she was taking bath in the Jamuna and feeling such great separation. She took that gem was given to Jamuna. Jamuna is the daughter of the Mitraputri. She's the daughter of the sun god. So that jewel got traded off to the sun god. Later on, that sun god gave that jewel to, what's his name? Satrajit? Shamantaka jewel. Very famous stories are there later on in Dwarka. So next is at this Ratna Singhasan, there's one Shila with as Krishna's footprint there. And next, this is we come to the town of Govardhana. Govardhana is the place, the Manasi Ganga, that when the cowherd boys and the gopis, after Krishna killed this demon, Vatsasura, they said that you have to take bath in the Ganges to purify yourself, otherwise we can't associate with you. So he brought the Ganges with his mind, and he took bath in this Ganges, Manasa Ganga. And at the next one, this place, Manasa Ganga, they have a temple that's called Mukharavind, the lotus mouth of Govardhan. They say like that. And next, this is the temple of Haridev. Now, in the Puranas it says that one who takes bath in Manasa Ganga and take darshan of Haridev temple at Haridev and circumambulates the Govardhana Hill, he'll never take birth again. And what heart can remain unhappy by doing these activities? So this Haridev temple is just on the banks there of Manasa Ganga, a little bit inside. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here. This is the next one, is the deity there, Haridev. This is the deity that was used to replace it, because the next slide, this is the original deity. You can go back, it's almost the same. And next, again, this is almost the same, but this is the original deity that we had opportunity to take darshan of. He's a little bit south of Kanpur. It was a couple hundred kilometers east of Braja. But during the Muslim invasion, they took some of the deities, most of the deities out, or they hid them. So this deity is there near Kanpur. Short distance away, they also had the deity of Adi Keshava. So this, I was mentioning about how the Bhagavad Mahatmya was spoken by Uddhava. So at that time, that was given by Sandilya Rishi. He gave these instructions to was it Brajranad, the great grandson of Krishna, because he was feeling a little bit of separation. He was installed as the king of Mathura, the district of Mathura, and he was feeling a little bit morose because all the residents of Vrindavan had gone back to Godhead with Krishna. He had no one to rule. So he was told by Sandilya Rishi to renovate all the different places of Krishna's pastimes and to install all these deities. This is one of the deities installed by this Bhadranab, the great-grandson of Krishna, Haridev. He's also, sometimes they say he's one of the presiding deities of the Brajamandal, the 4 Dev deities, Haridev, Baladev in south, and Adi Keshav Dev, and who's the other? Govinda Dev.
This is the original?
Huh?
This is the original deity?
This is the original deity, yeah.
Is there a picture of this deity?
Huh?
Is this your picture?
Yeah, we went there and we took picture. Well, I didn't take picture, but one of our associates, young lady, was there. She had a camera. We didn't have camera. We used to go, enjoyed what we saw.
Why did he go back to Godhead?
Huh?
Why did he go back with everybody?
Haridev? Wherever he is, he's in Godhead. He's the Godhead. Okay, next. So this is this Manasi Ganga. This is in the town of Govardhan, which is practically in the middle of Govardhana Hill. And when you're leaving Govardhan, town of Govardhan, you come to this place called Daniroy Dardangati. And this is one of the places where Krishna took taxes from the gopis. He would stop them when they were taking their milk products from one place to another for some sacrifice or something. They were bringing some ghee or yogurt, and Krishna and the cowherd boys would stop them and they'd demand taxes. And they had wonderful pastimes, exchanges like that. Okay, next. This is the entrance of the ISKCON temple. I want to say that these pictures are all old pictures. These are from His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami. I think these were practically the first digital pictures of Vrindavan area. So this is, huh?
What year?
It's, I think, I saw the timestamp, it was 2000. I'm guessing that's the correct time. Anyway, so it's been greatly renovated, of course, the ISKCON. I think this was maybe shortly after they acquired it. It was owned by one Rajasthan king. Very wonderful palace. So they told me this is just coming when you come out of Govardhan a little bit down, a couple hundred yards on the left side, and they told me that one time during the Purushottam month, was the extra month that's maybe coming up within a year, I think. There so many people were doing Govardhan parikrama that they were stopped. They couldn't walk because the crowd. You've seen the road. It's just a road, a regular road, maybe a big one-lane road or something, but almost 2-lane road. And there were so many people that they couldn't even move. So this Govardhan parikrama, this is going on. There's any day, especially Purnima and Ekadasi, on such days you'll get so many people. And Drani was reminding us that sometimes the devotees go in the nighttime, especially on Purnima, when it's in the summertime. When it's very hot during the day, you don't want to walk in the hot sun. And we did this once or twice like that. We'd walk in the moonlight, the full moon night of around Govardhan, and that the purport of that song, Nitai Padakamala Koti Chandra Shushitala, could be realized then, because when you're walking, and as you're walking along the ground, the sand in the moon rays is very cool. But when you go into the shade, it's very warm from the days, like that. So you can, the moon's rays were so cooling that the sands had become cooled off. So anyway, next this is Dan Nivartan. Dan Nivartan means the return. This place, the gopis got the cowherd boys back. They grab them and they say, "You're herding your cows all over, you have to pay taxes now." All right, next. So this is some view of as you're going down the Jai Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. All these huts there's our cow dung. They make the cow dung huts like that to keep them protected from the rain, so that they can use them for cooking. And what they cook is these wonderful Brijbasi rotis. Okay, next. This is coming up, I think on the top of the hill you can see there's a temple of Gopal. Madhavendra Puri's Gopal is there. Next. This is one current picture. Chataratma Prabhu posted some very nice pictures of Govardhana Hill yesterday. They did their parikrama. So I took one of their photos because we didn't have drones back in 2000. Anyway, on the left side you can see this is Anior, where we're coming, where this temple is there of Madhavendra Puri. Anior, this is actually the site where the cowherd men, where Krishna had the cowherd men perform this first Govardhan Puja. They made their mountain of foodstuffs, their anakut, and lakes of sweet rice and dal, like that. So they offered this mountains of foodstuffs to Govardhan. Krishna had assumed that form, Sailosmi, and he ate up all these foodstuffs just in a moment. And he called out, "Anior, Anior, bring some more, bring some more." Ani means bring and more. So this place is called Anior on the left side. On the other side of the hill there's a town called Jatipur. I think we'll come back to that later. So we can go on, next one, please. This is coming to one, this is a nice temple that we, landmarks as we come into a place called Govardhana, very famous place. Next one. Govardhana, we have a few pictures of Govardhana. Madhavendra Puri sat here on the banks of Govardhana Hill after he did his Govardhana parikrama. He was sitting, he had taken this vow that he wouldn't even ask for any foodstuffs, but he would simply take whatever someone offered him. So he was sitting there, and one cowherd boy came up to him and said, "What kind of fast you're doing? Here, take this milk and drink it." So this was, so after taking that milk, he became very much satisfied, and he took a little rest, yoga nidra, and understood that this cowherd boy that brought him the milk was none other than Gopal. He said, "I've been waiting for you to come and serve me. So I'm hiding in these trees, this bushes there." So Madhavendra Puri got all the Brijbasis, and they found this Gopal deity. They installed him on top of the hill, and that nice description is there, Chaitanya Charitamrita, about their Annakuta ceremony, how the different villages in the area, they would take turns offering big worship to Gopal. So that Gopal deity was taken out of Vrindavan during the Muslim invasion. That deity is now situated at Nasdwar, Srinathji, one of the most famous deities in Krishna deities in India. Next, some more pictures of Govardhana. And this Govardhana, this is a very wonderful place because after, actually I've been reading, I think, a little bit refreshing everything. The King Indra didn't, it wasn't the same day where he sent his rain clouds. It was the next day, which is actually called Bratri Dvitiya, famous day when the sisters were feed their brothers. And there's famous brother and sister at Mathura there that this Jamuna and Jamaraj, their brother and sister, sons of means offspring of the sun god. So Jamaraj gave benediction to his sister Jamuna that anyone who takes bath in your waters on this day will never see me. So anyway, that was the next day. So anyway, and then those rains. Now we know that these rains they wouldn't stop very soon. They went on for 7 days and 7 nights. We were under the Govardhana Hill. The Brijbasis, they're under the hill for 7 days and 7 nights. So after that, King Indra came here with a little bit of help from Sarabi. They came here and they offered Abhishek to Krishna from the waters of the Mandakini Ganga, this Airavata, the carrier of Lord Indra. They bathed Govinda here at Govardhana. So these are waters from the Abhishek of Lord Krishna. Next one is the temple. He offered Artik then, and as Ganga Narayan pointed out the other day, that King Indra gave Krishna this name Govinda at that time. So this is the Govinda temple, Radha Govinda temple, where this place took place. Next, then we have, these are the deities, Radha Govinda. All right, then after we leave Govinda, then we go down next on our way to Punchari. Next one is some other views of Punchari. Punchari means tail. I think Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, some of the other acharyas, they describe that Govardhana Hill is in the shape of a peacock. So Punchari means the tail of Govardhana. And that's very beautiful, just like the peacock feather, peacock tail is very beautiful. Next one. Some more Govardhan Shilas there. Next. And at the very end of Govardhan Hill, there's two kunds, Naval Kund and Apsara Kund. The Apsaras, they came and danced in the next one. Just, this is, he's not actually, I haven't seen, at least in the scriptures, but all the Brijbasis, they go on study. This is called, this guy, little fellow here is called Lota Baba. He's one of the cowherd boys of Krishna, they say, waiting for Krishna to return. Krishna went to Mathura. He said, I'm just coming back, I'll be back in a day or two. So he's waiting for Krishna's return. Actually, some few kilometers north from there, there's one town called Parsoli. That is described by Narahari Chakravarti in Bhakti Ratnakar, that the Parsoli means the Kalya Parsoanga, that I'll come back tomorrow or next day. Parso means second day, day after next, no? Huh? Day after tomorrow, yeah. So anyway, Lota Baba, all the Brijbasis, they go and pay their respects to Lota Baba when they do their Govardhan parikrama. Next. This is actually found in the Bhakti Ratnakar. This place is called Airavathistan. This is, you can see the little circular impression on the Shila there. This is the impression of Airavata, King Indra's elephant. They came there and they offered this is on the other side of the hill from Govindakund, but King Indra's elephant left his footprint impression there on the Shila, Airavata. It's mentioned by Narahari Chakravarti. So, next is Sarabi Kund, because Indra was very much embarrassed to go in front of Krishna after inundating Vrindavan. Actually, Krishna was quite happy because the whole pastime gave him an opportunity to stay associated with his Brijbasi friends for so long, 7 days and 7 nights without interruption. So anyway, Indra was embarrassed, so he went to Brahma and he asked him for some advice, and Brahma told him, you take Sarabi with you. Sarabi has some family relationship with Indra. I don't know, anyone knows. And so Sarabi is very dear to Krishna, of course. He's the cow. Sarabi cows, Sarabira Vipalayantam. And, all right, next. This is, what is this? Rudrakund. Lord, Rudra came and sat in meditation at Rudrakund. We're going up now the other side. We've finished. Yes, what? What? Yeah, okay, next. Yeah. Yes, this is the same slide I used again. The other side is called Jatipur. Jati is a name for a sannyasi, Jati. So that town is named after this Madhavendra Puri. He was a sannyasi. And next is, what is this? So it is just a view of the hill along that area. Eh? And then we come back to the town of Govardhan. We've seen this slide already. This is we're coming from on the other side there after we do our parikrama, and there's a place there called Chakra Tirtha, and also Sanatan Goswami's Baitak, Sanatan Goswami Baitak. Sanatan Goswami used to live there at Govardhan. He used to do this parikrama every day. Very old, at that time he became, advanced in age. And Krishna told him that came to him one time as a cowherd boy, said, "You're taking too much trouble doing this parikrama every day." He said, "I've taken vow like that." So he said, "Wait a minute." So the cowherd boy went up the hill and brought one shila and he gave it to Sanatan Goswami. He said, "Just walk around this, whatever, 4 times there, and you'll get the same benefit." So that shila is there at the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, where Srila Prabhupada stayed. Radha Damodar temple, it has the footprint of Lord Krishna, the footprint of a calf and his stick like that, flute. And also there is Chakaleshwar Mahadev, and Chakra Tirtha. They say that because Krishna lifted that hill and all these rain clouds were pouring so much rain, unlimited rain on the peaks of Govardhana, and that water was pouring down off the sides. So this, they say that the Sudarshan chakra was drying up all the water, and Ananta also came and drank up some of it. And this way the Brijbasis, they weren't flooded out underneath the hill. So that's, and also Manasi Ganga is a place of some of Radha and Krishna's boat pastimes. They're described in the Shastras. Next. And we go, after we leave, that's coming back into Govardhana town. He'll go through both ways, going down and going up. We go to a place called Uddhav Kund. This is a nice sadhu is living there. Huh? Oh. Hare Krishna. And Uddhava, this is just on the other side of the hill from Kusum Sarovar. So Uddhava, as we mentioned, Uddhava was staying in that area in the form of a creeper or grass. Uddhav Bihari is the deity there. So this is, by the time we get here, we're pretty tired. This got 3/4 of the parikrama finished up. It's a nice place to take some rest, and he's a very sweet devotee. I think he's been there for 40, 50, 60 years maybe, I don't know. I think I saw a recent picture, he's still there. This picture is 20 years old, and you can see he's a little bit, not a young chap, Brijbasi. Okay, next we come to, this is another picture of Uddhav Kund. You can see on the backside is Kusum Sarovar is there. Next. And sometimes the devotees, they do Dandavat parikramas. So I think Chaturanga Prabhu did that. This is 108 probably, yeah. That'll take some years. I was reading description, some lady, Nandalal. This description I saw on the internet last night. She said that she probably was. She said was probably the first Western devotee that did it. A lady disciple of Srila Prabhupada. This was back in like 1980, I think it was. She gives some very interesting description. She gives of her. Of some of the days that she did. To do Dandavat parikrama is going to take you probably not less than 6 days to go around. That's one Dandavat at one place, and then you go next one and next one. But to do it 108 times, you can multiply times 108, how many days? All right, next. And this is the Gaudiya Math temple there when you're first coming into Radhakund. The town of Radhakund is there. Radhakunja Bihari. I think Gorka Shardas Babaji's Pushpa Samadhi is there. Next, you can see Radhakund, Shamakund. These are like the 2 eyes of Govardhana. I think we're taking a long time, but... And this is described. All right. Radhakund, Shamakund, we can go on. We had, this is also one of the festivals that takes place during the month of Kartik, is the appearance of Radhakund, Shamakund. That Bahulashtami day. That was 8 days ago?
Yes, last Monday.
Okay. Radhakund is towards us and Shamakund is on the back. Okay, next. Another picture of the same Yoga Pit. Next. Maybe we're done. Oh, another picture of Radhakund. All right, I think we're done. No, back to Kusum Sarovar and finish our parikrama. Giri Govardhana ki. Yeah. So, anyone has any? Yes. How many miles? It's like 14 miles, something like that. Yeah. Something like that. There's actually, I can tell you, the first 5 or 10 times I went, we walked around Govardhan, I think every time was we took a little bit different path. There's so many different paths that you can go, different lanes in the town of Govardhan, and even around the path. Sometimes they go close to the hill, and sometimes you go on the road outside. Yes, so many places are there. So many towns are there, people are there, they're giving, if you get a chance to read Nandalal's description, you can see how she stayed. Krishna provides. The Goswami, Srila Prabhupada said many times that the Goswamis used to stay under a different tree every night. So you can sleep under the tree. Trees will...
Govardhan is getting shortened by 1 mustard seed a day, is it?
That's what they say. No, actually I think teal is sesame.
1 sesame seed a day.
But that's according to the account of the curse. I don't accept. But he's definitely sinking. Historically, you can prove it.
And some of the temples that you showed, they were built since the time of Sanatana Goswami. I mean, those times, some of those temples were built during those times. I mean,
Chakaleshwar Mahadev, yeah. Radhakund, Shamakund was rediscovered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So before Sanatana Goswami, or no, not before, but after. Sanatana Goswami was there. Karagarj?
So there's Radhakund, Shamakund. There's the Sangam in the middle, so the water goes underneath.
Yes.
And so both are,
Yes.
water. So you would think they would be the same color, right? But if you look closely at Shamkund, it's very dark color, very dark. And Radhakund is like gold green, like green, gold color,
Okay.
if you look closely.
Ganganarapu.
Why did Krishna lift Govardhana Hill with his left hand as opposed to his right hand?
You tell us. He wanted to let the Brijvasis know that this is not a very important thing. I mean, not a very difficult thing for him. Not a very difficult thing to do. If you're doing something very difficult, yes, okay. Radha Gopi.
I just had one question about, you mentioned that Lord Balaram ended up giving that jewel to Dhanishta. And I'm wondering, is there some special reason why Dhanishta and why not someone else?
She has, they all have different parts to play, so I don't know, there may have been some reason, but that's very confidential, I guess. I mean, no, I don't know exactly, but, and I can't even say, it's described in the, what is it, Lalita Madhava? or Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava, I think, Rupa Goswami describes.
So the reason Krishna lifted Govardhan with his left hand was because the left hand is considered weaker, and he did it with his little finger,
Yes.
and which is, the weakest. But also Krishna was not only holding the hill with his little finger, in his index finger and his thumb, he was holding a lotus.
A lotus?
Also.
Okay. Guru Prasad has some.
That was wonderful. I felt like I was right there. Thank you.
Thank you.
The parikrama.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, some people do the parikrama with milk, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's right. They take a pot with
Yes.
a tiny little hole in the bottom, and with maybe a string or something, and they fill it with milk and do the parikrama.
So they must have to fill it up a few times, huh?
They usually have a rickshaw with some containers of milk. When they run out, they fill it up again.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them do it, and I think the milk seemed to last forever. But I was thinking they must have to refill it.
It comes out very slow. You can sometimes just see the trails of milk on the ground. Yeah.
But one time I was walking behind this woman who had the milk, and I was thinking, when is it going to run out? And I lost track. I don't remember. But I just, what's the significance of the milk?
They're offering. I'm explaining something about how Govardhana Hill is feeling separation from Krishna. So we're the devotees. My mood, I tell everyone, devotees ask, what do we get to, what is the benefit for doing Govardhana parikrama? It's a long time. You're walking 14 miles. It's an austerity. So what type of benefit do you want? Govardhana Hill, he can give you whatever you want, but what do you want? We want to serve. This is our devotional service, is the aspiration of the devotees. We're trying to become devotees. So when we go there, we're offering service. We try to offer some service. They're offering their milk, or we offer Harinam to help alleviate Govardhana Hill's feelings of separation. We chant Hare Krishna as we go around the hill, do some kirtan. And this way, we should always think that how we can serve the Lord as devotees. Govardhana Hill is the best of the devotees.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. How do we find Nandulal Mataji's book?
I don't know.
You said you have read it. You
maybe,
said one can read it.
Maybe she can send you, I don't know. It was on, we found it through some Facebook. The link was there, I don't know. It's not a book, it's only a couple pages that she describes only first 2 or 3 days or something. Maybe, she might have a book someplace, but I haven't seen, I don't know.
I heard when I was there last time from some devotees saying that they call the hill Babu or Baba because he is so relaxed and casual, they don't see him as a formal deity. Is there something like that?
Yeah. He's also very patient. We have our recent Shalagam Shila came, Govardhan Shila came, was given the name Kshama Giri Govardhan. So yeah, Govardhan Hill is very, very dear to the devotees. The devotees are so much happy to do have the association of Giri Govardhan. Srila Prabhupada describes how devotees take pebbles from the hill and worship them. There's some type of description is there that one should get from the Bridge Basi or something, but Srila Prabhupada doesn't mention that. Devotees therefore collect small rocks or pebbles from Govardhan Hill and worship them at home because this worship is as good as deity worship.
The other thing I was thinking of, once
I don't want to recommend, but Srila Prabhupada's. Huh?
You know, another time when I was at Govardhana, I wasn't able to walk around the hill. So we were at the ISKCON Govardhana temple. And I think it was Bhakti Charu said we could go around the hill that they have there. Maybe it was Dhananjaya, and that was the same as walking around the 14 miles.
Yes, I mentioned that Krishna himself gave that Shila to Sanatana Goswami. He told him that you go around this Shila. So during Kartik, especially Radha Damodar temple, you'll find so many people are doing parikrama around the deities because that Shila is there.
It seems so hard.
Like I said, I had many times, well, not many times, but a few times, our good friend and god brother who passed away, Bhubaneswar Prabhu, he used to say that you go to the Jamuna and take 3 drops on your head and it's as good as taking a bath. And I said, is that what you do in the morning before you go to Mangal Arti? It's as good as our philosophy, Achintya Beda Beda. You get the same benefit, but at the same time, if you're able to walk all the way around Govardhan, it's joyful occasion.
Yeah. Also, you know, I'm going to walk around the little hill at the temple, and then these devotees are doing this, the Dandavat parikrama. It seems a little imbalanced, but the other thing, how do they do that Dandavat parikrama with all the people and animals and all the traffic and all that?
Yeah. Like a bike lane, they have a Dandavat lane.
Some people do have, if they have some inability to walk long distances or something, they will rent a cart or have a rickshaw take them, and they still get that opportunity to visually see Govardhan.
Yes.
Experience the time going around, and the meditation is very intense.
Yes.
Well, you know, they take the small children, these small kids, they can barely walk, and they're going around Govardhan. So they're trying.
Nandala pointed out one time that she, as she was doing her Dandavat Parakram, she was passed by one gentleman who was doing Dandavat Parakram, and his wife, I've probably seen this also, his wife would take the dust from his feet after each Dandavat, like that. The wife follows along. This is another system that they have. So anyway, yeah. Jai Giri Govardhan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Did you announce, remind everyone to get maha?
Get maha. Everybody get maha before you leave.